I love getting a second series. Having a second series offered to you means that you've done well, that the first series has been successful. I don't regard it as I've never regarded the second series as anything other than a delight, because I think you've got a certain level of confidence yourself as a writer because you know it worked the first time. And your actors have that same kind of confidence. I always thought in terms of Catherine, there was a lot more to tell, because I think she's become such a rich character. I think she was a rich character at the concept stage, at script stage. I think when Sarah came on board to play her, she got richer and richer, so that by the time we finished filming the first series, it felt silly not to do more to me, because she'd become such a detailed character who people really responded to. With the second series, you don't want to just repeat what you did in the first series. You do want to feel that you're moving forward. You want to feel that you're giving your actors challenging things to do. You don't want them just to feel that they're on some kind of treadmill. So that there are new areas to explore, new emotions for them to get their teeth into. And as a storyteller, I want to feel that I'm moving forward as well. I don't want to regurgitate the same stuff. I think whenever you get a second series of anything, I'm never complacent about it. I never think, oh, we'll just turn out some more stuff. I always think, why are we going again? There's got to be a reason for it. You've got to have as good a reason for going again as you have as good a reason for writing a first series or something.
Get off me!
I could have let them off with a stern word and a community resolution, thus helping Mr. Cameron and Mrs. May massage their claim figures. But they scored very poorly in the attitude test. And that was when I smelt this. Well, I was going to say smell, but the word don't begin to do it justice. It could have been anything, fish, poultry, you name it, but whatever it was well off.
I think when you're involved with making the show on a much more intimate level, your imagination is more stimulated than when you're just sitting at home staring at a computer screen thinking what shall this character do next. I think when you spend time on the floor watching people act, watching people bring those characters to life, I get more and more ideas about what I'd like to see them do next. It is a pretty extraordinary cast. I always think I've been very lucky with casts. Scott and Bailey, Last Tango, Happy Valley 1. But I do think this is the most awe-inspiring cast. I thought of Shirley for Frances because she becomes kind of Catherine's nemesis. And she's so physically tiny and not what you would think of as somebody who would become Catherine's enemy. And I think, she, for me, reflected that her, the fact that she doesn't appear intimidating or threatening in her presence, but she is in kind of how mentally strong she is. For me, that was what that story was about. It's about how women can be deluded or think, that somebody is something other than what they are. They kind of seeing them what they want to see rather than seeing what somebody's really like. It was partly that story came as a reaction to some of the reactions we got to Series 1 about Tommy. Obviously, James got a lot of attention, and he's this big, good-looking guy, and it was interesting that a lot of people thought he couldn't possibly be guilty because he was so good-looking, which seemed an odd parallel to make. So I thought it was interesting to write a story about the kind of women who write to men on death row.
He's ruined my life. And she's untouchable. I know you do.
I'd be directing a scene and thinking, this is going to be great, because I really loved writing this, and this is going to be fantastic. And then when you see it put together, it's not quite as monumental as it was in your head when you're writing it. And then there are other scenes where I suddenly go, oh my God, I really like this scene. There was one scene, it was just Catherine in her office on the phone, And I remember saying, I think this is becoming my favourite scene. And then it was very complicated. Sarah had to do a whole load of different things like carry the phone, get a coat on, take her glasses off and throw them on the table. And by the end of it, she was saying, I hate this scene. And I was thinking, no, it's really good. Authenticity is always important to me. My then advisors on Scott and Bailey put me in touch with a uniformed police constant officer in Halifax, Lisa Farrant, who I'd been at school with when I was little. And so again, I just spent lots and lots of time with Lisa. She told me lots and lots of anecdotes, information. I mean, she's quite literary herself, and so she had ideas about stories. She had ideas about how to tell stories. So she was fantastic. You can spend a lot of time making stuff up and then find out it's all wrong anyway, and the truth is more interesting anyway, apart from that. So I think it's really important to find out about stuff properly before you write about it. So I think it's really important to write what you know about, but it doesn't mean you can only write about what you know about. It means you go out and find things out.